It's Jan Shegda, and I'm here talking about sexual variant ones in response to a couple comments from Raphael. So Raphael, this is for you. So I want to start out by saying if you're looking into the variants and combining them with Enneagram types, you know by now that everyone has different opinions, and so take mine with a grain of salt for what it's worth. So I think the most important thing to understand about sexual variant 1 is that it's the counter type, and every one of the Enneagram numbers has one of these. Counter type just means it's the least frequently occurring variant. So for example, for type 1, it's more likely there are more people that are ones that are self-preservation dominant or social dominant versus sexual. And whenever you have the counter type of a type, it's almost like it turns that type inside out a little bit. So it's more common to hear from people that are the counter type that when they read about a description of themselves, not everything fits as nicely, some things feel a little bit off, which certainly could be true with the sexual one. And let's talk about the passion of this, or the Achilles heel of the one, which is anger or frustration. So the other types of ones usually direct that frustration or anger to themselves as well as to the world around them in efforts to correct. The sexual one does this as well. However, they have a greater percentage of their effort going outside themselves than the other ones. So less of their energy goes towards themselves in perfectionism and reforming their own behavior. More of it has this intensity moving outward. And I think it's helpful to think of sexual ones as more of reformers or crusaders in a way. They usually have a cause, not necessarily a social cause, but a cause for some kind of standard of behavior, certainly. I've known a lot of sexual ones that are therapists, psychotherapists, or coaches, and it's their mission to help people be more emotionally healthy, for example. So, and again, if we think of the sexual instinct as the drive to make a difference, to feel intensity, to create a charge of some sort, ones are wanting to do this through their reforming behaviors out in the world, by making a difference, by feeling connected to a movement that has significance to them. Versus a self-preservation one, you would see maybe more of their meaning coming through creating effective systems, having things run the right way. A social one, you might see a little bit more of this flavor where they're wanting to kind of reform out in the world, but it usually has more of a societal impact that they're thinking of, also in systems. And sexual variant has more of an interpersonal focus. It's not necessarily about relationships, but it's more about people and what makes them healthiest and at their best. So coming back again to why it can be a little confusing, since they are the counter type, that anger and frustration is a little bit more visible with this instinct than with the other two, and it can usually be best seen in these efforts to kind of remake the outside world and the behavior of others. So curious, Raphael or others, what you think about that, how you would describe what sexual one means to you. Love to hear your thoughts, leave them below. And any other thoughts or questions, I'm happy to post a video about my musings. Catch you on the flip side. I just said that. Oh, okay.